Our learning target today is I can find the volume of a cone. There are some vocabulary here that we should discuss. At the top of the cone, or at the bottom, depending on how the cone is situated, you have a vertex. Then there's a height that goes from the vertex to the center of the circle in the base. From the center of the circle in the base to the circumference of the circle is your radius. And then, of course, you have your slant height that we use to find the surface area of the cone from the vertex to the circumference. The vocabulary terms that we're going to discuss are cone, volume, radius, circumference, height, and slant height. We're going to review briefly with the volume of a cylinder. Remember, for the cylinder, we needed to know the radius of the base or the top, and we needed to know the height of the cylinder. So the formula was the area of the base times the height. Now this is for the cylinder. So the area of the base would be pi r squared, because it's a circle, and we multiply it by the height of the cylinder. So we have 3 times 3, which is 9 pi, times 8, which is 72 pi. If we substitute 3.14 in for pi, we find out that the volume of this cylinder is 226 8/800 cubic units. So when we're measuring volume, we use cubes, a three-dimensional shape. Now you're going to see how we start with the formula for the cylinder to find the volume formula for the cone. So stay tuned for this video. Okay, so we just learned that the formula for the cylinder, the volume of the cylinder, is related to the formula for the volume of the cone. It takes 3 cones to fill up a cylinder that has the same base and the same height. So the volume formula for a cone is 1/3 of the area of the base times the height, or 1/3 pi times r squared times the height of the cone will give us the volume. So let's try calculating the volume of this cone. We have 3 inches for our radius. We have 8 inches for our height. The formula is 1/3 times pi times r squared times h. So if we substitute 3.14 in for pi, 3 squared becomes your r squared, and 8 becomes your h. So we end up with 75 36/100 cubic inches for your volume. Let's try another one. Here we have a 7-foot radius and a 3-foot height. So we write our formula for volume of a cone. We substitute in 3.14 for pi. R squared would be 7 squared, and height is 3. So we have 153 and 86/100 cubic feet. The last one gives us the slant height, but not the height of the cone. So we first need to find the height of the cone. We know our formula uses 1/3 times pi times r squared times h. And this height for volume is the height of the cone. So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. We know that 25 is our c squared, and we know that 9 is our b squared. So we have a squared plus 9 equals 25. A squared equals 16. So a, or our height, is 4 inches. So now that we have the height of the cone, we can use the formula. We plugged in 3.14 for pi, 3 squared for r squared, and 4 for our height. And we got 37 and 68/100 cubic inches. Before you finish, tell me something that you learned or were reminded of, and a question that you have.